Hey everybody, it's Jaime from Modern Day Fox, and today I am going to do the very popular Instant Pot Zuppa Toscana soup that you may have had at the Olive Garden, and I'm going to do a Whole30 version of that today. So the first thing that we want to do is press the saute button on our pot and let that heat up with a little bit of oil. You can use avocado oil or olive oil, and then a lot of the recipes call for Italian sausage, but if you go to the grocery store, you will see that a lot of them contain corn syrup or sugar added to it. So what I'm going to do to make sure that there's no sugar in my soup is I'm going to do a reduced fat ground pork, and then I'm just going to season it with Italian seasoning. So I'm going to go ahead and put the pork in the pot. This is my little helper, Sammy. We'll just kind of let that cook. Wash our hands. Then we're gonna go ahead and chop. And Sammy is gonna be my chopper guy. You can just drop them in there. All right, spin it around. Spin it around. This chopper is great. It's so easy. Obviously, a 6-year-old can do it. And it just works in seconds. You've seen on my other videos that I've used the manual food chopper with the string. This one is far and away better than that one. I'll take over from here. Okay, then we're just gonna dump the onions in here.
What's that smell?
The onions?
Ew.
Yeah, it's stinky, huh? About a tablespoon of garlic in there as well. And you can hear on saute that the pot is starting to heat up. So we'll let that cook. And then we're also going to add, about a half a teaspoon and a quarter teaspoon of pepper, half a teaspoon of salt and a quarter teaspoon of pepper. About, I would say, a good half tablespoon of Italian seasoning. So we're going to let this brown. It doesn't have to be cooked all the way through. And then we'll come over here, and I already got a start on this, but we're gonna cut our potatoes, about 3 large russet potatoes, 3 or 4, I think I used 4, and then just cut them into about 1-inch chunks, or however you prefer. But we'll be back in about 5 minutes when our pork has browned, and we'll drain the fat.
Really? Hey, I am talking Penny. Sammy? No.
Whatever. All right, so our pork has finished, and I used a reduced fat pork, which actually doesn't even have that much grease, so I'm not even going to drain it. Normally, when I use a full fat ground pork, it's so greasy, and I would never even think about not draining it. But this looks good. So we're gonna press cancel. So we're turning the saute function off. What I have here is homemade chicken broth that I made. You can just use a box of broth. I'll show you that option. So you could easily just use a box of broth, but I made a whole chicken the other day, and so I used my Instant Pot to make a lot of broth, so happy to have that. So we're going to pour in about 4 to 5 cups. 3, 4, I'm actually going to do 6. 5, 6. Put in your potatoes. And then I'm just going to put in some dried basil. And I saw on a YouTube video that if you do this to your dried herbs, that it'll bring out the flavor. So I'm going to try that. Then I'm just going to do a little bit more salt and pepper because I love salt. Pepper. Take the Instant Pot lid, of course, turn your valve to sealing, and then we're just going to do a manual high pressure, and then go to about, I'm going to do 10 minutes. So, see you in 10 minutes. We're back. So the pot has beeped and we're gonna do a quick release. I always put a towel or something over the vent so that the steam minimally gets on my cabinets. Does it smell good? Okay, all the steam has been released, so we're gonna take the lid off. And then we have kale greens. You can use the large leafy greens if you want. This is actually the only kind that my grocery store had, and it's a good deal. So just 2 large handfuls equals about 2 cups. If you want more, add more. You know it shrivels up a lot. So I'm actually gonna turn the pot off and turn it on to saute. That'll get the soup boiling and boil down the kale. While that is wilting, this is where the Whole30 part comes in. Aside from the not using Italian sausage that has sugar in it, we're also not going to use heavy cream. But if you're not doing Whole30, then don't worry about just use heavy cream. But coconut milk, if you open the can, and you may want to refrigerate it just to make sure that it's separated, but I find it's usually separated into the cream part and the water part. We're gonna scoop off the top cream part, about a half a cup, and this is gonna make our soup nice and creamy. So just scoop that right in there, then just stir it, and you can see already that it has a nice creamy look to it. And then from here, basically all you're gonna do is just season to your liking. So if you like a little spice, then you can add some crushed red pepper. If it doesn't have enough salt, kick a little bit more salt in there. Same with pepper. It's up to you. I've seen some recipes that use fennel seed as well. And that is usually found in your Italian sausage, but you can add some extra fennel seed if that's something that you like. I don't have that in my pantry, so I'm not worried about that. Let it come to a boil and then turn your pot off and serve it to your friends and enjoy Whole30 Zuppa Toscana.